on today to talk about, yeah, um, well, spiritual warfare, and also about the pathway, spiritual pathway. So nice to meet you. Nice to see you again. Um, First of all, yeah. So I've been working a lot on. Behind me is my site. If you're interested, or yeah, over there is my site. If you're interested, please check it out. There's a whole bunch of stuff on there. But yeah, I wanted to come on though because I wanted to share some of the stuff I've been discovering. If you're like me and you have been struggling with, for example, nightmares and also just psychic attacks and things like that, then you might find it can be quite frustrating given the information that we're given. So, for example, you read I have all these books. You know, there's books on psychic protection, and you're building this colors around you, and you're doing all this sending out light and sending out love, but it just doesn't seem to do anything. And I think this is a very common thing that people talk about. And the reason is because we're missing a certain link. We're missing a certain piece of information that's really, really important. And this piece of information comes from, of all places, Christianity. So I've been looking at a lot of I'm going to get this wrong, but so a lot of people that work with casting out spirits, for example, and these sorts of deliverance ministries. And I really there's a lot of good information in there, but I always find that the viewpoint is very, very much focused just on that one denomination. This is the only thing that's right. Everything else won't work. But yeah, so it's hard for me. I don't have a. I went to a Catholic school when I was younger, and I didn't have a good experience there. All of my teachers were priests, and I had a bad experience from early on, and so I that just shaped my whole kind of conception of it. Not to say that there's anything wrong with it. It's just for me, in my experience in my life, but I still see there's a lot of beauty and there's a lot of wonder, and I'm even reading the Geneva Bible at the moment, very slowly. And I'm also very interested in the Gnostic texts as well, as that's something that in kind of accepted Christianity, it's kind of considered, you only have to read the canon, and everything that's not in the canon is considered, sacrilege. And I think that's kind of interesting. So it's interesting. Yeah, just say it like that. I don't want to go into this to that, but so anyway, I found some interesting things within the Christian way of looking at this, and this is that legalism, that these things that will attack you, or these people, or these beings, or whatever it is that are attacking you, they work in a legalistic system. And I was talking about this a little bit in my previous video, and this is the main point. So the love is very important, and having good thoughts, doing good deeds, being as good as you can do, being as much of a light worker as you can. That's a given, of course, right? But in addition to this, there are different things that happen. So, for example, there are inherited yokes. That's the word that they use, an inherited yoke. And this yoke is spelled Y-O-K-E, not Y-O-L-K. So it's not an egg yolk, but inherited yoke. I didn't actually know I've heard the word so many times, but I didn't realize what it was. But yeah, it's just something that pulls you down. It's something that you have to carry. So an inherited yoke I think, is very much related to epigenetics. So whatever it was that your grandfather experienced, and anything that he has not, or your grandmother has not processed, it's going to go down into, you're going to feel it too. And that's just epigenetics. That's just, science. And so it's an inherited yoke. So that's one of them. You have to break those inherited yokes because you're dealing with that. And then there's also the ancestral covenants. So who knows what? Well, I know some stuff happened back a few generations, maybe I don't know how many, 7 or 8. I found out some stuff, and there's also what else? Spiritual portals. So there's different portals that are open. So for example, for me, I had all these like objects. I had like crystals, and I had a Saraswati statue. They're all doorways. They're all like cameras. What are they called? surveillance cameras. They're all like surveillance cameras that actually allow people to come in. They're doorways. So I had all these doorways. So there's all these different ways. Um, and so the idea is that so you renounce ancestral covenants, close spiritual portals, break inherited yokes, and announce new jurisdiction. Say, I'm not a part of that stuff anymore. I don't want to, I'm free of all of that. And so that's basically the idea. And so I think it's really important to know for anyone who's really suffering with this stuff that this legalistic kind of type of meditation or prayer is very powerful. And I've been finding results myself. It doesn't stop it though. I found that the more that I've been doing this, the attacks have been ramping up a bit. And I'm not sure if I shared this, but maybe I did. I don't know about the ants. Near my head, there's a string of ants, and not near my head. When I sleep, and on the veranda, there are these ants, and they have a line of defense, and they're doing God's work. They're helping to protect me. But I find every morning when I wake up, all of these ants are just dismembered and smushed, and it's part of the protection. So. Yeah, thank your ants. Thank your local neighborhood ants. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that. That's the missing link, I think, and maybe there's more. I don't know. So for me, especially this past year, it's been a time of intense learning of new things that I think, like, this information I should have been given this years ago, but for some reason I didn't. But so that's the thing. Maybe it's just being given to everyone, or I don't know. I have no idea what this is about, but it's working. Whatever it is, it's working. And so while they have ramped up a bit, they don't have the same power. And then also, since you have a way of dealing with it, like in the middle of the night, you wake up and your heart's pounding and you've just been attacked, and you're like, well, I know what just happened, but I am in a state of fear because I don't know, it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, but I'm not really afraid, but it just and it's like, what do I do? I just go back to bed, but in this case, you just kind of use your voice to state your boundaries. And so these boundary issues is something that's been coming up a lot. I think I'm not sure for you guys that are listening, but for me, boundary issues were a big issue. And I think for a lot of people that are pursuing, or that are kind of light workers, I think that's a common issue, is boundaries. And so, so the boundaries, though, are not just physical. It's not just kind of like saying, no, I don't, this is where I end, and I don't want any part of this, and being able to state your truth. But it's also stating your truth to the spiritual realm, because it's there. It's, they're all around, we're not just a body. And so being able to state it, say, hey, get out of my space, whatever it is that's in your space. Say, hey, blue guy that's on the wall, I didn't ask you to come into my room, so please be gone, for example. I had a blue guy on my wall for a while. He was actually a nice guy, but that's a long story. It wasn't a physical being. It was an image that I could see with my third eye. So anyway, okay. So that's that. I just wanted to clear that and give this information because I think it's really important. I think it's if you are struggling with this, I think this is an important thing to think about. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was that just like the Course in Miracles says, we don't know what anything is for, right? So we have all these different things in our lives, and we don't know what they're for. And I wanted to, for example, talk about, this channel, right? This channel, I started it. The actual original reason I started it was because I was going to do a channeling in this kind of public event, and I'd never really done any kind of public channeling kind of things, and so I just decided, I'll just kind of start doing it to build up my confidence. And then that was 4 years ago, and so that was how I started it. But then I was thinking, as I was going along, like, oh, maybe I could turn this, maybe I will get a whole bunch of followers, and this will be, who knows, I could quit my day job or whatever, all these different things. And then my guides kept telling me, like, stop looking at the numbers, stop worrying about that kind of stuff. That's not the point. And so it took me a while because, I'm a bit thick-headed. But I was like, oh yeah, you're right, actually, because doing this, by doing this, by putting myself out in the public in this way, I've actually met so many wonderful, amazing people. And that, I think, is, well, I don't even know what the whole reason this experiences in channeling is, and even the title that was given to me, I wanted to make something cooler and more like, not risque, but something, catchy. But they're like, nope, experiences in channeling. And but it's been a really wonderful journey, because I've been finding some beautiful people, and I've been also learning a lot about all these questions that I've always had all throughout my life about what was going on with all of these things, and why is it that I have this, and I have this, and I have this, and I meet all these other people who have the same things, and it's just, it's so wonderful to know that you're not alone. And so the reason I'm bringing this up is because in your life out there too, there's so many different things that you're doing, and you don't know what it's for, and you're thinking, like, for example, YouTube, like, this is the reason you start a YouTube channel is because you want to become, successful and all. It's like, no, maybe you don't. Like the reason that I started playing guitar was because I just loved the sound. The reason that I started composing was because I had this dream, and I was composing, and it felt so good, and it feels good. So yeah, like the things that society teaches us that we should be doing things for, we don't have to pay attention to that, because when you look back on your life at all the different things that you did, society said, do this so you can do this, do this so you can do this, do that, and you look back and it's like, oh, maybe that kind of didn't work that way, the way that they said it would, but I learned this, and I learned this, and I learned this, and I learned this. So that we don't know what anything's for, but it's all for our good. It's all for learning. We're learning so many things. And so to not put too much pressure on whatever it is that you're doing, just let it be what it needs to be. So this channel, for example, it is what it needs to be. And I love that. It's fine. It's perfect. It's beautiful. And I get to meet all these wonderful people. And so I think that's a beautiful thing for me. And I think for me personally, like, I think if it got super big, it would just be maybe too stressful. Then maybe this is the perfect size for me too. So all of these different things. So just appreciating what you have, and understanding how special it is, and how special it is to be alive in this time, and that all of the things that you're doing, just let them be what they are, and they're wonderful. They're presents to you. Like this was a present to me from my guides. This ability to communicate with you, to find some of you out there in this crazy wild world that are on the same path. And it's been such a wonderful, reassuring thing for me. So thank you guys for being there, and for yeah, it's wonderful to meet all of you. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I hope you guys are hopeful. I'm not going to do any channeling today. I'm all channeled out. But I shared a little bit about the channeling. What did I? Yeah. So I'm not really going to go into a channeling. Well, you know what? Let me just go into a quick channeling about. I've been trying to split them, but I'll just do just for today. About this spiritual kind of warfare, and yeah, or whatever else they want to say. Here we go. I'll just go into it. Here we go. Channeling. Greetings. We are here, and it is a wonderful place to be here. It is wonderful for you to be here as well. It's wonderful for you to be there. It's wonderful for you to be wherever you are. Wherever you are is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. You are in the place that you need to be in. You are all in the place that you need to be in. As this being said, it's so important not to put anything on where you are. Where you are is where you need to be, even if it doesn't feel that way. You feel as if you need to be somewhere else. I need to be somewhere else. But understand that in order to get to somewhere else, you need to be truly here, because there's a reason you're here. And until you learn why you are here, you'll not get to there. You need to learn everything about here, everything about this moment right now, this place that you're in, this country that you're in, this city that you're in, this house that you're in, this situation that you're in, this job that you're in, everything. There's a reason that you're in it. And until you understand what it is, you won't be able to move to the next step. And that's why being here is so important in these times, because you have been placed in these places for very, very important reasons, for your learning and also for the planet as well, because you are all helping along this process. All of you who are starting to become aware of these energies, aware of your abilities, you are all starting to realize your place. You're holding your place wherever you are in the world. You're holding that place, and you're becoming the power and the strength that is needed to help that part of the world to move through these difficult times. Because the times, they may not be as difficult for you, but they will be very difficult for those who are not in alignment with these energies. You will notice that many will start to fall off the pathway of their lives. They will start to lose their mind. And we wanted to curse, but this being will not let us. But many people are going to lose their mind. And they're going to lose their mind because the things that they've been holding on to will slip away. And you will be there holding down the light and holding down the energy and putting that energy into the mass consciousness, so that that loss of a mind won't go that far. It will go to a certain extent, but you will be there and you'll be sending your energy, and they will be able to download that energy, and they will be okay. And so understand that is one of the reasons why you are where you are. And that's why it's so important to realize where you are and to understand what it is. This is not to say that you shouldn't leave a situation that is not safe for you. This is not what we're saying. We are saying that if you are in a situation where you are safe, where you have enough, then there's a reason that you're there. If you are in an unsafe situation, you use your nervous system to tell you that fear is real, and that is telling you to flee. So this is different. That is a different situation. But wherever you are at this moment, where you are feeling relatively safe, where you are, where you have enough, where you have clothes, you have food, you have housing, you have a modicum of security. So wherever that is, there's a reason that you're there, and there's a place. All of you want to be somewhere else at this moment. We see that, but understand that where you are, there's something very special for you to learn, and that you will get there. But you got to be here first. Okay. All right, guys. So, yep. There's something else I wanted to share too before I go, is that the guides, I usually say the names, right? And you notice I didn't say the name this time, and but they said that it's not necessary anymore. We could probably play a guessing game. Who do you think it was? I mean, I know, but I'm just, the names have so many connotations to them. But anyway, so I hope you guys are hopeful, and hopefully I will talk to you soon. Ciao.